Okay, here's a little video for my friend Shannon, who was just diagnosed with Lyme disease. I'm going to keep it short. It's a simple instructional video on how to make colloidal silver. Maybe this could help her, since the university-trained crack expert scientist medical establishment completely failed at discovering that she had Lyme disease when she was exhibiting all of the typical everyday symptoms of Lyme disease. And now it's 6 or 8 months into her Lyme disease, and they just started her on Doxy, so maybe a little colloidal silver could give Shannon some help. I'm going to tell her how to make it right here. We have distilled water. This is not spring water, it's distilled water, so make no mistake, get distilled water. We have a ball jar. Mine is all electroplated inside because I make colloidal silver in this all the time. This thing is like one of those furniture sliders, and it just happens to fit as a lid for a ball jar just perfectly. So it's not super tight, but it's tight enough to keep it where it needs to be. And most importantly, it's plastic, because the diodes have to be separated because they're metal. These are 4/9 pure silver. I think jewelers use this stuff to solder their jewelry together with when they're making it. But it's also, this started off as, I think, 12 gauge, and now it's down to like 16 gauge. It just gets thinner and thinner as you use it. And I've made tons of colloidal silver out of these two rods. I think they're about 6 inches long. One is an anode, one is a cathode. In other words, I make one negative, one positive. And I try to switch them back and forth every time I make it, so they stay about the same diameter. They don't get worn out unevenly. And then you need a little battery charger. This is my little battery charger for my motorcycle I've had forever. And all you have to do, fill this with distilled water. Okay. And then take your silver rods and put them down in. Okay. And then you take the hot lead and you clink. Get this to stay on there. And then your negative. Put this on the other way so it doesn't touch. There you go. And then you come back. This is turned on to 12 volt, by the way. Okay, it's got a lot of juice going into it. And if you come back in about 9 hours, it should be, the contents of this should be at about probably 14 or 15 parts per million. And you can tell by this, it's called the TDS meter. It tests impurities in water. So this is distilled water, so it has 0 impurities. And by the time we're done, it should be 15 parts per million impure. In fact, I'll take this off and we'll see. We'll turn it on. Yeah, 0 parts per million. When we come back, that'll boost up to about 15 parts per million. Get the lid on. And at that point, you have colloidal silver. And you can use it to wipe out tons of stuff. I've annihilated flus with it several times, and there is nothing that I wouldn't throw it at. Of course, if you have a more ingrained disease like Crohn's disease or Lyme's disease, you're probably going to want to be on a more of a regimen with it. Like with a flu, you would just drink like a 4-ounce cup of it and check it yourself again in like 5-6 hours. And if you're still feeling kind of crappy, hit it a little more, have another little couple swigs, and you'll be good to go. You won't be pukey anymore at all. But with something like a more serious, more ingrained disease, you probably want to take a shot of it every day. So just keep it rolling. That's why, like, I'll sell you some to get started with if you want, but I would just recommend buying this stuff and making it yourself on a regular basis. And as you can see, my skin is all pink and fleshy looking, so I have not turned blue like Papa Smurf yet, like the fear campaigners would have you believe that it's going to happen to you. But I would stay on the Doxy that they're giving you, and I would not hesitate twice to throw some of this at it too, just to bombard it. But that's all you need to do. Okay, I'm just going to sit here 8 hours and that'll be ready. And that's all you need to do. And then you just keep it in a dark place. That's it. Talk to you. Good luck.